Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will further discuss about web services. Now before we start with web services, first of all let us try to understand what is a standard application. A standard application is an application where all the services are available inside a shell. We need not to access a network to perform some operations, right? So the client can access all of these services and all of the services are inside the shell. That's a standard application. Now when it comes to a web service, there is a client which can access the services on the network, and these services are placed in different web applications maybe. So these services can be deployed in different web servers, and all of these services are connected over the network. Now whenever the client would like to access a service, the client can access these services on network. So that's a web service. Services on web. Now these services can be independent services again. So if a service is an independent service, that's a microservice. Understand that. And all the services, all the components which creates a complete piece of software is nothing but a web service. A web service will give you every functionality which is required to operate over a complete cycle of operations. So a complete software is a collection of services to perform a complete operation. Alright, so here is a web service. Now moving forward, if we talk about a service can be independent, and if it is an independent service, then it's a microservice. And in the world of Java, microservice is a very strong dominating concept, and definitely you all must research more about microservices. Alright, now moving forward, what is a website? A website is again a service on web, but a website is a service on web for human consumption, right? So whenever we visit a website, there is a two-way communication between server and a client majorly, and it's for human consumption, and the response is basically a HTML response. Whereas when it comes to a web service, the consumer is again a piece of software. It is a client which communicate with the server. In fact, it communicates with a API, classes, methods, right? And the communication is based on a standardized messaging, and the communication is the bare bones data, only data. There is no CSS, there is no formatting, there is no HTML. It's standard data. Now this data could be of any format. When it comes to SOAP, the format is XML. But with the modern technology like REST API, the data can be anything. It could be XML, it could be JSON, it can be text, it can be anything. As long as both the client software and the server software, the API, understand the data, it's fine, it's cool. So the communication between the parties, the client and the server, would be based on data, and web service is for machine consumption. Alright, so the communication between the API and the client would be always on HTTP, because both of these pieces of software are on network. Alright, so this was again a quick overview. There is more to it, and we will continue our discussion on RESTful API web services in our next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.